So I'm going to be talking about the Xfinity race this afternoon. It just took place, and I'll explain pretty much a lot that happened. I personally thought this race was, for a New Hampshire race, I thought this race was better than expected. I don't know if the Cup race is going to be as good tomorrow, but it was pretty good. So what happened was Brad Keselowski, he had to go to the back of the Brad Keselowski had to go to the back of the field because he missed a driver's meeting. I mean, he's prioritizing Cup, which just shows that he cares more about Cup than Xfinity. And that's good, you know. And I like Keselowski a lot for that. So, good. And he should go to the back, though, for missing the driver's meeting. But, hey, he's taking priorities into his own hands, and that's good. But he went from last place to fourth in 45 laps. Like, that's crazy. That's pretty insane if you ask me. Ryan Preece and Christopher Bell in the early part of the race, they battled it out early. Eventually, Christopher just had the upper hand, and he was able to go on and win the first stage. Good for Christopher. I mean, Christopher's been so good this year. Now we go to stage 2. On the pit stop before we start the second stage, Brad Keselowski gains 4 positions and takes the lead off of pit road. But Ryan Preece, he fights off on the restart. Ryan Preece, he fights really hard trying to get the lead, and he was pretty good on these restarts. But he never really, after the first or second lap, on the restarts, he never really could get the lead from Keselowski. Keselowski was just that better. Yeah. Yeah, that would happen in the second stage. Brad Keselowski, in the end, would go on and win the second stage. Pretty much Brad just had a great car today. Now we go to stage 3, and Brad, a bunch of guys who already pitted before the end of the stage, Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, Elliott Sadler, they stay out, while Brad, Ryan Preece, and guys like Matt Tifft, they all decide to pit. Now, the guys that stayed out, they end up doing a really good job holding on for a while, especially Christopher. Christopher held on for at least 10 laps once Keselowski got up there, but eventually Keselowski would get back to the race lead from because Bell got loose pretty much, and yeah, Brad would take the lead. When pit stops start happening, Brad Keselowski decides that he's going to take 2 tires. Now, people are thinking if the race goes green, he might have a shot to hold on. Unfortunately, Jeremy Clements, he runs into the tire barrier, and a bunch of sand comes out of the tire barrier. Not the tire barrier, the pit wall that's protecting the pit wall. I'm like, wow. I haven't seen something like that since our last year at Dover, when Jeffrey Earnhardt ran into the pit wall at Dover. Now, this changes strategy because only Brad Keselowski and Daniel Hemrick took 2 tires, while everyone else took 4 tires. Meaning that Christopher Bell is probably going to have the best advantage because he's been the one guy that's been able to compete against Brad during the race. So it doesn't take long, but eventually Bell gets by Brad. But Brad just did not give up. He was better in turn 3. He was in the corners. He was able to close in on Christopher. But Christopher was able to pull away a little bit down the back straightaway. And eventually, and the racing today was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Brad had a shot to win it, even with 2 tires. It shows how good he was. Yes, I know it's an Xfinity race, but at least it shows how much talent Brad actually has. But in the end, Brad got loose on the last lap, and in the end, Christopher Bell would go back to back here at New Hampshire. Good for Christopher. I think Christopher is I will say this, I don't think I've said this past, Christopher is a fantastic driver. I've always respected the dude since I saw him come and win that Eldora race in 2015. He's really, really talented, and he's already ready for Cup. He's already won 3 races, and he beat Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski in his respective series. That's why I like Christopher, because I think he's the favorite to win the 2018 Cup title. Not Cup title, Xfinity title. He's going for back-to-back winning the Xfinity race, the truck and Xfinity, and he may go next year win Cup, but I don't think it's going to happen because he's a rookie in Cup. But he's doing better than William did last year, so that's good. And Christopher has won. That's his 3rd win of the season. He's good for him. He's one of my favorites. Sucks that Ryan couldn't win though. I want to see Ryan win in the 18. He's a very talented driver. He's a part-time guy, but he's got races lined up for him, so he's probably gonna win again. And Austin Cindric crashed on the last lap. Again, I don't like Cindric, and I'll make a video why I do not like Austin Cindric in the future. Anyway, that's going to be the review for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And we go to, believe next race we go to is Watkins Glen? No, Iowa's next week, I think. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on another review.